Yo, what's going on to anybody listening to this? This is sort of just like a documentation sort of thing. I'm just going to be recording, talking bollocks, nothing too serious really, just to see where I am in 6 months from now, be able to easily reflect on what has changed in my life, what I have actually been able to achieve, what I can do. If you want to make progress in life, it can be a lot easier if you're tracking your steps, if you're able to see the progress that you're making. I think that it makes it a lot easier for you to do that. But pretty much what's the day today? It's the 20th of January 2024. I'm 21 years old. My birthday is the 6th of January 2003. So I've just recently turned 21. And the premise or the point of this is that I'm 21 and I would say I feel like I'm failing so far in life. So I think a big reason of this is mostly due to social media. I don't genuinely believe that I'm failing, but I think due to what you see online, how you see other people doing, you seem to believe that you're not doing very well, that you should be way more successful than you actually are. You feel like you should be a millionaire, you should be a multi-millionaire at 21, living in Miami, getting heaps of girls, every weekend, every day, going out partying, Rolex on your wrist at all times. That's sort of how you sort of feel like it should be based on what you see on social media because you only see the top echelon. Out of all the videos you get recommended, they're obviously the highest viewed videos. They're these people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They've got these HD quality cameras. Obviously, this camera is a piece of shit. 30 FPS off on my laptop. But you sort of compare yourself to these people and you believe that this is like the average person. But if you look at the grand scheme of the world, I've traveled to a couple of countries and I've seen firsthand what life is like for other people. And if you come from a first world country like I'm from New Zealand, and you can feel like you're not doing very well. But if you see other countries in the world, you will definitely see and tell that you've got a much better opportunity, even living at the basic level, doing a basic job, getting a basic income, save at a basic level. You're doing better than 95%, 98% of the world, just based on that basic level. You don't even have to do much really to break past what most people are doing. Your quality of life, the car that you can drive, the food that you can eat, the facilities that you have access to, the houses that you have access to are on a totally different level, you know? So obviously failing can be circumstance based. It can depends what you're comparing it to. So if you're comparing it to these hyper successful people, of course you're going to be feel like you're failing, but in reality you're not doing too bad. Let me give an example. I would say probably a year ago, a year prior to today, I would say I'm definitely failing, when I just turned 20, or maybe a year prior to that, let's just say when I was 19, I didn't have any idea what I was going to do for the living for the rest of my life. I still don't really know where I want to be. I'm currently doing an electrical apprenticeship, so I have been doing it for a year and 2 months. It's a 3-year course. After I'm earning money currently, not great, but it's perfectly enough to live. But once I finish this 3-year course, I will be earning really good money. there's plenty of options in New Zealand and Australia where I plan to live in the next 10 years. The money's actually very good, like compared to other jobs, even engineers, doctors, high end electricians, if you're really able to upskill management roles, maybe get a management degree while you're studying, which is what I'm planning on doing, a business degree, sorry, you're able to upskill easily, get high income if you really want to. There's plenty of options, so it's a really good job, but I still don't feel like that's good enough, I dream to achieve something much greater than that. That's what I really want to do. That's why I'm filming this, so I'm able to really track my progress, and I feel like if I'm able to reflect and see what I'm doing, then it might give me a better outlook on where I want to go. But so yeah, the point of this is if I keep doing that, hopefully in the next year after that, I will be doing way more. But to go back to the point where I was explaining where I was, so I was 19. I would say I wasn't really going anywhere. I was stuck in my beekeeping job. I was super skinny. Well, even last year, the start of last year, 20 years old, super skinny. I know I'm still skinny. I'm skinny still, but I was fucking borderline fucking anorexic. Last year, I put on 11 or 12 kilograms. So imagine me now, 11 or 12 kilograms lighter, you know, not much on me. And I wouldn't say I was super insecure, to be honest. I wasn't really. I didn't realize how skinny I was, to be honest. It's only when I'm looking back on old photos now to then, I'm like, holy shit, that was a totally different person. But, you know, it's great to see that improvement. I've seen that improvement from photos, so that's why I'm thinking if I'm able to video myself, I get an even greater in-depth level, and comparing it, I'm able to see if I'm progressing at a steady rate, what maybe I need to jump more onto. That's a journey I'm still going on. I'm still bulking. I'm still trying to gain weight. I plan to put on another 10 kilograms. I'm sitting at about like 72, 73 right now. I want to be anywhere from 80 to 85 lean, so it's tough when you've got a fast metabolism. You eat a crap ton of calories every day. Protein shake in the morning, fucking full meal at 10, at 1, maybe 6, 7, another one. You're eating so many calories, and it's hard to see progress, but you have to think long term. You need to invest in delayed gratification and not just instant gratification. That's something personally I've been able to do over the last year significantly, is invest more in delayed gratification activities and not just, mindlessly scrolling on TikTok. That's something I used to do. So let's look back a year from now. I was watching TikTok for 3 to 4 hours a day, every day. So if I went into my phone and the settings, in the last 10 days, it would say anywhere between 30 and 40 hours in the last 10 days on TikTok, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's how much you spend almost on your job, just on my phone, scrolling, depleting every bit of dopamine, and people wonder why they're unhappy in life when you're spending that many hours watching TikTok. What dopamine is left in your body after watching that much, You can't expect to be happy. You can't expect to be happy when you're literally getting so much enjoyment from this. I feel like in life, in the world, you have happy moments, you have sad moments, and they sort of go hand in hand, I could use an example. My girlfriend studying overseas, so I only see her for a few weeks a year. Like, it's a really, really happy moment when we're able to see each other, for those few weeks. I have the best few weeks of my year, and then you get that, as soon as you leave, you get that massive negative counteracting force that has to come alongside with it, and it's just two things that go hand in hand. And when you're spending 40 hours every 10 days, 4 hours a day doing that, you're going to have to expect that in your evenings for another few hours, you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel anxious, you're going to feel depressed, you know, with all those feelings. So that's where I was at a year ago. I had money, I wasn't broke. I had 20, 25 grand maybe overall. So, it was it was pretty good. It was better than I was a year prior to that. A year prior to that, when I was 19, same skinny shit, same beekeeping shit. I don't know if I said that already, but I was beekeeping. So I left school in 2020. 2020 was my last year. I was beekeeping for 2 years after that, before I started this electrical thing. But so yeah, 19, 2 years prior, super depressed, watching TikTok all day. At least it transformed back to a year from now. A year back from now, sorry. Totally different. I'd done some self-improvement stuff. I wasn't playing video games all day after work. Sorry, I've been working since I left school, but yeah, I wasn't watching playing video games all day. A year prior, I wasn't engaging in negative activities, going out partying every week like I had been prior. Well, not every week prior to that, but quite frequently. But you know, it was a big improvement. But from this year to this year, it feels like if I go back 2 years and then I see the progress from that year to this year, and I see the progress from this year, from that year to this year, it's good to know, like in my head, the massive progress I've made. So I went from like $0 and not much growing. I wasn't engaging in learning activities. I wasn't trying to really do anything to better myself. You know, I thought I was doing well because I had a girlfriend, I had a job. It's the bare minimum of life, bare minimum. And then a year later, 25 grand, I was trying to learn more, not really too much self-improvement sort of stuff. And then that year, last year, 2023, is when I was just like, I got to do something. Because I always have this feeling in the back of my head, like I can do something better. Like I've got the potential to do something greater. And I'm sure everyone, if anyone's listening, I don't know if anyone's seen this, probably not, but if someone is, I'm sure they've got that feeling in the back of their head like, man, I could do something greater than this. I feel like I'm destined for greatness, to build something, whether it's businesses, whether it's to be an athlete, a movie star, professional gamer. Everyone's had aspirations to be probably any one of those or all of them. I've thought at points like, man, I would like to do this, I'd like to do that, but of course, like the average person, you just you have a terrible amount of, what's the word, discipline. You have no discipline, no work ethic. I would say I have work ethic and I have pretty good discipline now, but something you build over time. I don't know if I'm late to this. I think that's the point of this video. I'm saying that I'm 21. I feel like a failure because I'm not a bloody monk, but I'm getting there. Jump forward from that year when I said last year, 25 grand, not really engaging in much self-improvement learning, but better than the previous year. I wasn't a total loser. I was I was doing alright. But trans forward a year now later, I would say it's a much bigger improvement. I'd say, you know, I'm engaging in a lot more learning. I don't do, I don't really use social media. I use Instagram a little bit just to like check out what people's stories, mates, my girlfriend, check what people are doing. But I don't watch reels, no YouTube shorts, no TikTok, none of this quick, easy dopamine. I need gratification, like no, none of that. But I watch a bit of YouTube. That's something I'm trying to cut down now, and recently I've noticed that it's not terrible, but it's time that I am wasting that I could be doing something else, because I want to be someone notable. I want to be, I don't know what the best way to describe it is, but I want to do something bigger. I want to do something big, something that people can remember me for. So, you know, I'm trying to learn more, spend my time more efficiently. I'm trying to build a routine so I'm able to maximize my time. Because, like I said, I watch a bit of YouTube. Usually it starts after work. I'll get home, I'll get my dinner ready, and I'll sit down and that's something I can't not do, is watching a video while eating. It's just something for me. There's nothing nicer than just like when you're hungry, you just sit down, you got a nice juicy burger in front of you, some chips, a nice drink, and you just slap on a YouTube video. Usually it's boxing. I just rewatch old boxing fights. I've been rewatching heaps of old boxing matches recently. Mostly Canelo, to be honest. I love watching Canelo. Just something about the way he fights. I love his movement. His shot selection. Just everything about the way he fights. He may not be the GOAT. He may not be the best fighter ever, but he's up there on that list. And he's superb. But anyway, the point is that it's sort of like a gateway, just watching this one video, because then I'll just like, after eating, I'll just like slide down the video and then I'll see other videos on YouTube showing, and then I'll just be like, oh yeah, that looks interesting. It'll be like the Wade concept. I love the Wade concept. I watch heaps of his videos, but it'll be like a Wade concept video, and I'll be like, oh, it'll be some like juicy caption, and some juicy title, and it'll just be too good not to watch. So you sort of just like click into it, you watch it, and then you see another one, and it's just sort of like a gateway. It's a gateway into these dopamine depleting activities. And it's usually not the problem that gets you or the addiction, it's the things that activate it. So it's seeing something first that initiates you open. I hope this is recording. Oh no, it's just show my thing there. Sorry, my headset just turned off. That would be so annoying, recording this for like 18 minutes and then just randomly turns off for the first time ever. That would be so bad for my enthusiasm. I don't know why it's so hard to get started on something like this. I would think for ages, I would say I've been thinking for a year now to start just recording, and the hardest part was ever just to click the start button, and I'm not sure why. You just sort of have to do it. But to get that back to that point was, it's the things that initiate you doing the act that are the real issue. So the thing that is what it is, it's the sitting down and eating, which activates me watching the YouTube, which activates me scrolling and watching it. It's those things that get you. Because if you eliminate those things, I'm not saying eliminate eating food, I'm just saying put my phone back in my room while I go to eat, and then I eat. And that's probably a better thing to do. As you can probably see, I'm fucking like fuck around with my chair all the time. I don't know if everyone has this issue, but I'm always like bloody like moving about, like, especially when I have my class. I go to a class every 2 weeks for my electrical, but I always find myself like all day just like slipping down. Like, I don't know if I'm just fucking weird but I'm always adjusting. I can't sit still. I don't know what that means, but I just do. But yeah, like I just said, it's that initiates it. So if you're able to take away that initial thing, that's making you do that, then it's really able to stop the thing from happening. But so that's something I'm trying to get into now because I'm sort of taking the next steps. Because last year I spent a lot of time, ridding a lot of these dopamine depleting activities and trying to learn new things. So I've been trying to learn Spanish for 6 months. I won't be speaking any on here anytime soon because it takes a long time. So right now I'm currently learning Spanish. I try to spend my free time reading. So I started reading in, what month was it? September last year? Maybe September, yeah, or August. August maybe. Probably read 15 books, which for me, like, I know for a lot of people, they'll be like, what the hell, that's nothing. I read bloody one book a week. It's like, for me, I never read books growing up. I don't know why, maybe it's because I watched too much movies as a kid. I just couldn't sit there and read. I just felt like I couldn't connect with the words. I don't know why that was the case. I think maybe it was because I wasn't really passionate about what the books were really about, so I would just lose interest and I would just start skimming over the words. But now that I'm reading books that I'm genuinely interested in, I find myself just engulfed into the book and I'm really able to capture those words and drive meaning from it. You know, like this is the current book I'm reading right now, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. I think this is a great read for everyone. You know, it's got amazing philosophical quotes that there's just a way that these older writers, you know, they were able to use words with such precision and they had such a broad vocabulary that it's just like, it's magic. It's magic to your brain, and I wish to increase my vocabulary to a level of theirs so I can. It just makes you sound like a much higher quality person, you know? I don't know how to put it in words. It's kind of hard, you know, for someone like me. That's why I want to try and learn and upskill. That's the whole point of self-improvement, is that you better yourself because in your mind you truly believe you want to be someone better, you know? Like I want to be bigger, stronger, I want to have more knowledge, I want to have a larger vocabulary, I want to do more things that I enjoy and I'm passionate about. I want to help other people to understand more things in a way that's easier for them to interpret when they're starting, because I feel like when you're starting on these types of journey, it's sort of hard to get into it and it's much better to hear from someone in a way that you're able to understand it. I feel like that's a way I've talked with friends, you know, and I've been able to explain to them things in a way that they are more easily able to understand the points and from different perspectives. You know, everybody has their own perspective and their own way of viewing things. You know, that's why I think everyone should do something like this to share their point of view to the world on what they think about certain things, you know, because everyone has their own interesting viewpoint. And I think everyone should undergo some level of self-improvement to better themselves. You know, nowadays people are just totally, I'd say, off the rails. Like, I think everyone should at least be able to, you know, look after themselves. Once you're 18, you should be able to look after yourself. You should be able to clean and cook and do all these things, basic things, super easily. I know a lot of people, a lot of young guys that they can't cook for shit, and I just feel like that's like a bare minimum skill. How are you going to be successful in life if you can't even cook like a basic meal? Like, that's how simple it is. You know, it's these simple things. You know, making your bed should be the first thing you do in the morning. I feel like it's these things that have to line up for you if you really want to truly be successful and get to where you want to in life, you know. But I still feel like I'm failing, you know. I do all these things, but you know, I think it's you have an expectation and you have a standard in your own mind that you wish to achieve, and to really push yourself to it, you need that voice in your head to tell you like, look, you need to sort your shit out and just get straight to it. At this point, I sort of think I'm just rambling, but when you first start making videos, it's sort of hard to, you need to learn those skills of sort of what to say and when to say it and how to flow the conversation. I feel like I'm sort of just like rambling to myself, it's sort of hard to like continue with one point and then continue with it without going to a different analogy. That's why what's sort of been happening. I was explaining one thing and then I would ramble and then I'd bring up something related to that and then I'd go off on a tangent about that without fully finishing one point. That's something I hope to learn how to do in making these videos. I'm not sure how often I'm going to record one. Maybe once a week, maybe once a month. At least once a month, I'd hope so. Just to see how I'm doing. So I'm setting up I'm going to be setting up alarms tomorrow to set more guidelines because I find that in the weekends when I'm not working, it's sort of easier to just like float around. You sort of spend more time just doing nothing. It's not like I'm sitting around, it's not like I'm going on YouTube and watching YouTube shorts and doing this and doing that. I find more time, I'm just like, there's like a 10 minutes or 20 minutes in between each task where I'm sort of just like resting there, thinking about things. Not really meditating, just sort of like zoned out, where I need alarms to be like, okay, reading now for 30 minutes or reading now for an hour, then Duolingo for 30 minutes, then cooking your meal for 1.5 hours and prepping and doing this, that, blah, blah, blah. You need to sort of set these barriers so you're able to really stay on track. I believe that's a better way to be successful. That's what a lot of people say anyway online. They say that's how they become successful. So who knows? I'm taking a page from their book and listening to what they have to say. You got to listen to people with more experience than you to truly learn from them what you need to do. But yeah, thanks for anyone listening. Like, hopefully I can improve for the next time I'm talking to myself, anyone. Thank you.